Coach Pryor here at the Coach's Classroom, and we're getting ready to get right into the connection points and talking more detailed about the swing. Let's get right into the first point right here with the set position, or referencing your stance. Let's take a look at the first couple bullet points and then I'll demonstrate. Good plate coverage, can reach the outside corner of the plate. The feet are approximately shoulder width apart, knees are inside of our feet, and our feet point straight ahead. Toes are in line with each other. So if we look right here on this picture, we can see that his feet are nice and straight. They're not duck feet, they're not pointing out. If we saw on a lot of players, we usually see, you can see his feet are pointed straight ahead. His knees are inside of his feet, right here, okay? And he's toe to toe, nice and straight. So what that would look like, so I'm gonna go here to this home plate. We're gonna start with the first one, that we have good plate coverage. So here's what I do with my kids. I have them measure up to the plate, and what I want them to do is lay their bat down to the outside part of the plate. So it reaches right to the outside part of the plate. And where that's at is where our toe should go, right behind the bat. This is gonna give us good plate coverage to be able to hit the outside pitch once they actually learn their contact point. So lay the bat down, that's what we call measuring up. So we measure up to the plate. Kids need to lay their bat down, get a reference point, and I like the kids to just take a reference point off the front point of the plate. Some kids like to take it off this back point. Some kids like to split the plate between their legs. Hey, whatever the kids want to do, I kind of let them do their thing, have some individuality with it. But at the end of the day, when you're working with kids, you want to have a common start point, because where they stand will affect your tee and how you utilize the tee, and where the tee needs to be positioned for contact points or with soft toss. So it's important to kind of understand those drills. When we get to them, we'll explain that. So measure up and have good plate coverage to reach the outside part of the plate. Go ahead and measure up and lay your bat down so you have a reference point. So we're going to do that. We've got a good reference point. Okay, the feet are approximately shoulder width apart. Okay, we want to have a good athletic position. We want our knees to pinch in just a little bit. Okay, what we don't want to do is be on the outside of our feet and have our, like we're riding a pony and we're here. We want to be athletic and we want our knees bent and just slightly in. Our knees then should be just slightly inside of our feet. Okay, if I'm leaning back, my knee's going to get outside. Okay, if I'm like this, my knees are over my feet or over my toes. Okay, we want to pinch just a little bit. Knees are inside of our feet. That's very important for us to get into a balanced and athletic position. Start with the feet pointing straight ahead. You can see both my feet are pointing straight ahead. I don't have a foot this way or this way. You know, I'm not closed, I'm not open. We're basically toe to toe. What that means, if I was to lay my bat down, I've got a nice straight line right here. Okay, and then the next point, our toes are in line with each other. We just covered that. We're in a straight line, we're toe to toe. So that's the starting part with the feet. Let's take the next few bullet points. The weight is on the balls of the feet and distributed evenly. Your knees and waist are slightly bent forward. That is that athletic position. You can see on the picture here that his waist is slightly bent, his knees are bent, and he's in an athletic position with the weight in the toes and in the ball of the feet. He's not leaning backwards. And his shoulders are nice and level. Okay, his head is level and his eyes are facing the pitcher, nice and level. Chin's on that front shoulder, eyes are nice and straight, they're looking straight at the pitcher, and then our hands and arms are nice and relaxed. Okay, so let's kind of demonstrate that. You can see here his arms are relaxed, his bat's up, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we get into these bullet points. So let's take the weight on the balls of the feet. So we get into our athletic position. We've got our knees are bent and pinched just a little bit. Sometimes I'll tell the kids, act like you're pinching a beach ball. Okay, we don't want to be like this. Just slightly bent in. Our butt's out, and we're just got a nice little bend at the waist. We're in a nice athletic position. Okay, we're ready to get ready for our swing. Our head is nice and level, hips are level, shoulders are level. We're not like this, we're not like this, we're not leaning backwards. A lot of times you see kids, they get their hips tucked up under them. They're just like this. They need to stick that butt out. Okay, we need to get athletic right here. Okay, hands are nice and relaxed. This is very important, the hand part, because look, it's just like boxing. You know, if I'm going to go box somebody, I'm loose. I'm going to jab, cross, nice and relaxed. We can't be all tense. A lot of these guys, and especially the youth, they get that bat and they just want to squeeze it. And you see the muscles are poking out and the veins are popping. We want the bottom hand nice and firm. The top hand is just nice and relaxed, and we're just enough to hold that bat up there. Just enough to hold the bat up there. When we fire to go hit the ball, we'll tense up and we'll get ready to go. So we don't need to be squeezing that thing, because that's going to put you in a slow, kind of a slow process starting here, because to be able to go forward, we're going to have to relax and then go. So we don't want to waste that time. So really, the more relaxed you can be and just fluid and smooth, the quicker you're going to be and the more bat speed you're going to generate. So your stance is really important. If you see a guy get up there and they're getting into their set position and you can tell that they're tense, not going to be a quick swing, all right? That swing is going to be slow. And last thing, our head and our eyes are level to the pitcher. Let's just cover that bullet point. Very important, because our balance is in our inner ear. So if I'm like this and I tried to walk towards you, I'd start getting a little wobbly, all right? You can do this with your kids. Have them walk, 20 yards or so with their head sideways. You'll see them start to veer off, or like they drank a little bit too much Kool-Aid, all right? Then put the eyes straight and walk. It's a lot easier. So we really don't want kids up there hitting and they're like this. We need to get that head turned straight and have those eyes straight right over that shoulder looking at that ball. And these are the key bullet points for setting up a good stance. And just to run through them real good, you're going to have 5 checkpoints. Look at the feet, look at the knees, look at the hips, look at the shoulders and hands, and then look at the head. So 5 checkpoints to make sure that you've got a good setup position to get ready to hit. Again, I'm Coach Pryor, and that's the RockStar way.